Hi, my name is Barb Smith, and even though I have been a Christian for 40 years, I have misunderstood the message of the gospel. I have always found it awkward to talk about my faith with others. The message of the gospel is that we are all sinners and that Christ came to take the punishment for our sin. This is an incredible message of hope. But as important as this message is, if we only focus on this one aspect, it can cause an imbalance. I hadn't properly balanced out the message of the gospel in my life, and it led to frustration and misguided decisions that weren't necessarily wrong, but added an unhealthy and uneven weight to my walk with God. Jesus told his disciples, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." There are many things that can make a yoke a burden, such as too much weight. Sometimes it becomes lopsided and the burden is distributed unevenly, and it starts to wear on one side, causing painful, chafing sores. Jesus talks about a balanced yoke that is easy and light to carry. The yoke of the gospel that Jesus puts upon our shoulders is not awkward or difficult to carry because it is so evenly balanced. But many of us turn the light yoke that Jesus lovingly put upon our shoulders into a heavy weight. We put more weight on one side of the message, creating an unhealthy balance that causes us to trip over things that we don't really need to stumble over. So what was causing the imbalanced yoke for me? The missing piece that revealed my unbalanced view of the gospel fell into my lap after I read Chris Volaton's 13 Signs That You Are Humble. Volaton wrote, "It all starts with going on a journey of receiving God's love for yourself and learning how to become friends with your own soul. Every step of the journey is an invitation to know God and accept the beautifully intricate way He created you." Volaton said, in addition to receiving God's love, I needed to become friends with my own soul. I needed to like me. As I read this, something suddenly clicked, and perhaps for the first time I understood in a real way that God loved me, and because of God's unconditional love, I needed to love myself unconditionally as well. The Bible says that we are all sinners and in desperate need of a Savior, but that needs to be balanced with how valued and important we are to God. Because God totally accepted me just the way I am, I needed to totally accept myself as well. My imbalance was I believed God loved me, while at the same time I disliked and at times even hated me. Once I became friends with God through Jesus, I needed to become friends with me. All I can say is that this wowed me because understanding what receiving God's love means is crucial. It means I need to love myself. According to Volaton, true humility happens when we focus on loving ourselves. What does self-love really mean? It is understanding that we were created in the image of God and that we must freely love ourselves. Here is how Volaton describes it. You were born to be amazing in the very image and greatness of God. We can't steal something that was given to us. You can't steal God's glory because He gave it to you. It is hard to believe that this is true, but this is exactly what Jesus said. The glory which you have given me, I have given to them that they may be one, just as we are one. We are a reflection of God's love in the world today. And the more we love ourselves and take care of our personal needs mentally, emotionally, and physically, the more able we are to care for our families, friends, neighbors, and people in need. Isaiah said, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. See, darkness covers the earth, and thick darkness is over the peoples. But the Lord rises upon you, and his glory appears over you. And I say to you, arise and shine. Shake off those feelings of self-hatred and rejection, and the glory that God is talking about will appear when we fully appreciate our worth in God's eyes. And through this, God will draw people to himself." Thank you for joining us today. Blessings.